Dan here at Practice Indie, and we're going to do a quick flow to help give you a home practice for a handstand. So this is an elusive posture that people love and are super fascinated by, but we don't walk around on our hands. So it's not something that comes natural to us unless we were a gymnast or I don't know, someone else that walks on their hands. So if it makes you feel any better, I was not a gymnast. I was a ballet dancer, but we basically strictly only use our legs. And so I didn't learn a handstand until about 8 years into my own yoga practice, and now it's a huge part of my practice. So what you will need is a chair and preferably a sticky mat, but that's also not necessary. So definitely a chair. Other than that, use what you have. So we're gonna jump right in. Starting in a tabletop pose, we wanna get the hands right. So hands are in a nice wide jazz hand, if you will, and just start to grip the mat. So it's like a creepy boop boop, little creepy boop boop. Okay, and then we're gonna do a little Noah-ism. We're gonna sink, meaning drop the chest down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're gonna punch, meaning push the scapula back away from one another and the heart space up to the ceiling. And then we're gonna plug, wrapping that shoulder head onto the back, creating external rotation. Okay, so let's do that 3 more times. Sink, punch, plug. Again, sink, punch, plug. 1 more time. Sink, punch, plug. Now maintain that shoulder position, grip the mat, send your knees back 1 inch, keep your shoulders in that position, tuck your toes, lift your belly, and try to find a neutral spine. So not sending your ass back or tucking it under, somewhere in the middle. Active shoulders, breathe, gazing in between your hands, gripping the mat. 1 more breath. Next exhale, we come to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. 1 more deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, return to a plank pose. So shift your shoulders over your wrists. Then just start to grip the mat again. So squeezing those fingertips. Begin to tip your weight forward into your wrists. Watch how your finger pads light up. Little white knuckle syndrome, and then send your weight way back into the heels of the hands. So do that 2 more times. Inhale, shift forward, keep plank. You can always lower to your knees if you need. Shift your hips back. Do it 1 more time. Shift forward. So every time we shift forward, look at your finger pads. This is the accelerator mode. Every time we shift back, go ahead and do that. This is the brakes mode. And then go ahead and rest. Lower your knees to the ground. Shake your wrists out. So our hands are obviously pivotal in this pose because it's called handstand. So we want to have that nice vibrant hand position and then utilizing our fingertips, kind of like a little tree frog, to help us either accelerate, so going more towards the fingertips, or break, going more towards the heels of the hands. Let's go ahead and come into a kneeling position. Shift your right leg forward. Begin to slowly fold over that leg. If you need props or even using the chair to lift the floor, help yourself. But we want to get that hamstring nice and stretched out for one of our ways of entry. So a lot of things that will hold us back in doing handstand are 1, fear, 2, flexibility. So a lot of people think handstanding is at the limit of their strength, but often it's thoracic mobility or hamstring flexibility. So we want to spend a little time here stretching into those hamstrings, really thinking about drawing navel to thigh, sternum to shin. Another thing that limits people from handstand is totally strength. That can be a thing. We'll talk about that. And another is just focus. People will literally close their eyes and fling their entire body weight over their head, which I wouldn't advise. Take 1 more breath here. And then we're just going to switch position, maybe going through a lunge or a down dog or kneeling. Just bring your left leg forward, stretch the other leg. And remember that without the breath, this is shitty mat gymnastics. So even here, holding a static pose. Start to tune into that breath, inhaling through your nose, either exhaling through your mouth or your nose. Couple more breaths here. And let's start to train the eyes as we stay here. So looking at one point forward. So that slight tip of the chin up, rolling the shoulders back, presenting the heart forward, and then knitting the belly in. Can you keep your eyes focused on one point while managing all of those things? Take another deep breath in and out. Last one, deep breath in, steady eyes, and out. Great, next pose we're gonna do is coming onto our back. So lower yourself all the way down, bending your knees, bringing your hands up and over your head, and then flexing through those arms or extending through your wrists like you were doing a handstand. As you exhale, curl your knees to or toward your chest. Take a deep breath in. Hold them there as you exhale. Really push an imaginary wall away from you. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Good. So you're going to keep the back of your head down. You're going to keep your middle fingers down. On your next inhale, slowly extend those legs forward, hovering over the mat. If that's too intense, take your legs a little bit higher. Another deep breath in. Exhale, pull your knees into your chest. Inhale, extend those legs out to the level that you can. Maybe heels just off the mat or higher. Woo, shake and bake. Exhale, knees to chest. 3 more times. Inhale, extend, nice long. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Exhale, draw your knees together. Inhale, extend. Try to squeeze the inner leg lines together. Exhale, hug knees to chest. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, hold there, squeeze your legs together, push your arms away, hug your navel to your spine, shake and bake, baby, shake and bake. 3, and 2, and 1. Exhale, hug those knees into your chest. Little rock from side to side. And then make your way back up to seated. All right, so we're gonna dive right in. I'm assuming you have little time and you wanna work at this at your house whenever you have a moment. So one popular thing that's taught is an L, like an L pose for a handstand. So it looks like this. And if you've never tried it, let me tell you right now, it's super forking hard. And if you have tried it, you may have been met with lack of success. So it takes a great deal of core strength, more core strength actually, to hold that than to do handstand. So I'm going to give you a couple of different things you can play around with handstand, and then the goal or the practice is to play. So handstand doesn't happen by just staring at other people in handstand. It happens by practicing. So the first thing I think that's super accessible is downward facing dog on a chair. So it's a little bit of a substitute from the L position. So having your chair somewhere where it's not going to slide, maybe against a wall or on your sticky mat, is a great idea. So you're going to come with your feet facing the seat of the chair, your butt away, hands on the ground. And again, we're finding that sink, punch, plug, which is just shoulder activation. The nice strong jazz hands gripping the floor. I'm going to tuck my toes and lift my hips, kind of like down dog, and then walk a foot to the chair. So for some of you, this might be the barrier of fear. For others, we might walk the hands back, re-engage the shoulders, see if we can get the feet on the chair, and then see if I can start to poke my head or even lift my hips a little bit higher. Again, this might be about flexibility for you. So maybe the knees are bent, and we're working with bent knees, getting those hips as high over our shoulders as we can. Whenever we're ready to come out, looking the direction we're going, walking our hands and our feet slowly out from under us, and taking a break. Okay, so that's, if you've never kicked up before, if you're looking to just start to get your hips in the position they need to be to do a handstand, I recommend that over trying to kick up on the wall, because most people are gonna do that banana thing, and not only you're not gonna get your feet to the wall, you're more likely to hurt yourself. So this is a nice gradual stair step. If the chair is too high for you, start lower, grab a bolster. My kids have step stools for the sink. Use a step stool for the sink. So that's one thing you can practice. Try to hold a position 5 to 10 breaths. Second thing we can practice is a wall walk. So instead of using a chair, maybe we're a bit past that, but kicking up scares the shit out of us. We might come into a reclined position on our belly and hiking up through a downward facing dog. I'm gonna slowly walk one leg up the wall. See if my hands can take weight, maybe the other leg up the wall, and then trying to find that same hollowed out position that I found on the mat. So back to this shape. Okay, trying to find that on the wall. Might be a bit of a more obtuse, be more of an acute angle than an obtuse angle as you get confident with it, and then slowly trying to walk ourselves closer to the wall as that confidence builds. So remember, we've got to focus the eyes. So once I get a leg up there, I get another leg up there, I'm like, yeah, I'm comfortable. Active shoulders, focus the eyes, maybe walk a little bit in. Active shoulders, focus the eyes, walk a little bit in. To come out, reverse, reverse. And slowly let yourself come out. Last two entry points. One is the obvious, the kick up. But if you're going to kick up to a wall, try to eliminate the space between you and the wall. So I'll try to flip myself a little bit so you can see. So if I'm too far away, what tends to happen is people come into this big back bend shape. Okay, so then when we're in the center of the room, I have no knowledge of how to stack my joints, and I'm in a back bend. It's loading my lumbar spine, and that balance is a lot harder to catch. Versus if I get closer to the wall, it's going to inhibit my ability to get a jumping start, and it's also going to get me set up closer to the true position. So try to eliminate how much space is between you and the wall. Chin is just slightly tucked in, but I'm looking down in between my hands. One leg is super strong. Other leg's gonna try to help me kick up. Okay, the alternative, if you can't get a leg to the wall, is just get comfortable with jump switch. Jump switch. Okay, so maybe your handstand practice, home handstand practice, is those jump switches 10 times with focused eyes, focused breath. The last option is a 2-foot hop. So if you've gotten accustomed to kicking your legs up on the wall and it's pretty easy but you can't seem to get it in the middle of the room, one is try just practicing in the middle of the room. The other is try a 2-foot hop. So I'm going to show this 2 ways. One is to start kneeling. And what happens when we start kneeling is we magically get our hips over our shoulders a little faster. So tucking the toes, having the hands on the ground, sink punch plug, a little bit closer than a tabletop. As I tuck those toes, I'm going to donkey kick, lifting my knees and trying to pop my heels to my butt. Okay, sink punch plug, donkey kick, and come back down. Do it one more time, sink punch plug, donkey kick, and come back down. For some of us, we need the tactile feedback of the wall. And so we can do the same thing, imagining there's a target on the wall and a target on my back. Coming in that shortened distance from the wall, gaze is slightly down and in between my hands, kicking my feet up, trying to tap my butt on the wall, taking my feet to the wall, and then kicking back off. Okay? Once you're done with that, practicing one of those modalities, don't forget to stretch afterwards. So a nice way to stretch is to take the palms, back of the hands together, elbows dropping down. Your breath will likely become in an energized state. Maybe start to take some slower, deeper, more mindful breaths. Notice how you feel about yourself when you're practicing those handstand drills. If your instant reaction is, I'm not enough because I can't do a handstand, observe that. Ask yourself how real that really is. Shaking your wrists out, grab your right wrist with your left hand, pull your elbows slightly apart. So much of the inversion practice is not the inversion, but rather our focus and consciousness in the inversion as we begin to fly. Shake the wrists out, switch sides.